All right. So, first of all, thank you so much for having us and letting us do this here. Is my face all well lit? Can you see my face perfectly? Wonderful. So glad about that. Luckily, I can see all of your faces, including the children in the audience. With that being said, I'm going to tell you about my first and only circle jerk that I was a part of. So earmuffs forever, please. I was 12, and it was on the football field at Palms Middle School in Los Angeles, California, City of Angels. And for those of you who don't know, 12, we all know 12 is a very special time for a young person. You're discovering your body, and you're discovering your erections that will plague you until death. And and I'll tell you who it was. It was me. It was my friend Ricky and my friend Jordan. Jordan was he was a Russian student who was our friend, and he used to like bust our balls in a very sixth grade middle school way, like, "Hey, you guys are gay. Just kidding, we're friends." And then there was Ricky, who was a nerdy black saxophone player, and he was just an adorable man. He definitely actually looked like that, which is amazing because he's never seen a picture of him. And we were the best of friends, just three multicultural losers hanging out together. And being 12 is a very special time in a man's life, in a boy's life, because for all of us, we discover our orgasms. Do you guys remember your first orgasm? You guys remember? You remember that feeling where you're like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna do this all the time." You know that feeling? You're just like, holy crap, your first orgasm, you're like, eureka! You feel like Archimedes discovering water displacement. And my dad was a big proponent of masturbation. He would tell me, it's good for you, it's good for your soul, it's good for your body, and it fights cancer. That's one of the things he told me, and I believed him because he used to be a scientist, and now he owned a deli. So I took his word as bond. And yeah, as soon as I discovered masturbation, I was pretty much on the cutting edge of masturbation technology. Like, I was like, if it was soft, I was fucking it. That was pretty much my rule. I fucked banana peels. I fucked just different types of fruit in general. One thing, for example, one day my dad brought home this thing. It was called a Big Mouth Billy Bass. Just so you know, it wasn't an actual fish. I didn't murder a fish. I'm not a monster. It was that novelty gift. Do you guys remember this novelty gift? It had that big red button on it, and you would push a button and it would sing the song, "Take me to the river, drop me in the..." I never learned the second verse because I fucked it in the mouth, so it was drop me in the drop me in the I want to see what's going on. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Jordan Cerminara, everyone. So yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. So the football field, middle school. Ricky and I just got out of the locker room. We went over to our little corner of the football field where Jordan was waiting, and that's where we went because it was far, far away from all the humans who were having fun during PE. And Jordan made this joke when he saw us. He's like, "What took you guys so long? Were you in there masturbating? Is that what you guys were doing?" And Ricky's response to that was like, "Ugh, no way, I would never do that, never." And I was confused by this response to that because I loved masturbation and thought it was the best. And like I remember a time, you guys remember that time, before you discovered masturbation, when you're just lying in bed and you're like, something's missing, you know that feeling? You're just like, there's something in my life I don't have. So I loved it. And I was really confused by that response. And Jordan was like, "Yeah, you guys were masturbating." And I was like, "Well, we weren't, but I do masturbate. I love it. It's the best thing ever. It feels good. It fights cancer. It's the dopest. What are you talking about? And I think this was really shocking for them to hear someone defending masturbation, because there's so much shame attached to it, and I had no shame, and all of a sudden I took that power back. I was like, nah, masturbation's the best thing. So it was great. I felt really powerful, like I was teaching them to be okay with their bodies, and Jordan, he kind of, his response was like, because I asked him, I was like, well, what do you do instead of masturbation? Like, what do you do at night? I don't even know what people do. He was like, oh, if I want to have an orgasm, and then I just have sex with my girlfriend. I bet you guys never have sex. And Ricky's like, yeah, I have sex with my girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, me too. I also have sex with my girlfriend. We were all lying. Obviously, we're in 6th grade. We're scared of women. Half of our relationship was based on the fact that we never questioned the fact that we had girlfriends. We just lived with it. We're like, that's real. Let's just not question it. So yeah, I made the point. I was like, while having sex is great, what do you do when, your girlfriend, is on her period? Because everyone knows you can't have sex with a girl on their period or else they'll die. That's just science. And we, there's LA public schools, so we all were like, yep, that's true. There's nothing more true than that statement. Because, LA public schools are just not great. It's not a great school system. So I make my case about masturbation. I say how it's good, it feels good. What are you talking about? It's amazing. And Jordan he does a 180. All of a sudden, he's like the biggest proponent of masturbation. He's like, yeah, I love masturbation. I do it all the time. I do it at school. I do it in the shower. I have circle jerk. You guys ever have a circle jerk? And we're all like, yeah, of course we have. Yeah, sure. We've all done it before. Again, we're lying, but he doesn't know that. And he's like, but he questions us. He's like, no, you guys have never had a circle jerk. And I'm like, yeah, we definitely have. What are you talking about? And he's like, well, prove it. Let's do one right now. And I was like, okay. So we decided, fuck it, let's just do it. Why not? Because we're at that age where we don't understand yet if there's any weird social implications. All we know is masturbation is awesome, and we want to share this gift with our friends, It's like, it's almost an innocent thing. We're just like, yeah, because it's cool, right? This is like a sexual experience we're having together. And so we decided to do it. So, Jordan pulls out his grubby little wiener. And it's a 6th grader's wiener, all right? It's disgusting. It's like got Cheeto dust on it and everything. You know how it is. And I pull out my grubby little grub. And Ricky pulls out the biggest, blackest cock I have ever seen in my life. It looked like a cobra, all right? It was gigantic. I remember thinking, that's bigger than my dad's. That is a bigger penis than my dad has. And I've seen my dad's penis because he liked to walk around naked. That's what happened. So anyways, we decided, hey, let's do this. Let's masturbate together. And so we all start doing it in complete silence. I'm looking around, there's no one there. Telling a story about a circle jerk. Thanks for coming. It's okay. I was 12 when it happened. And I'm looking around. There's no one there. There's no, nobody watching, in the school. And behind us is a gate, into the outside world. And there's no one there. And we're just alone. And we're just pulling on our penises in silence. And, no one's saying anything. It's kind of awkward. I'm just checking out people's technique. I see Jordan's got kind of the standard. And, I'm doing the inverted. And Ricky is using both of his hands. It's just like, and it was awkward and weird because when no one was saying anything, eventually Jordan is like, this is weird. I need more than this. And I decided to take the lead and narrate. So I'm like, okay, all right. So Claire Danes is there. It's 1997, just so you understand why. Claire Danes is there, and she's pressing on her boobs. And she's playing with her hair, and she's lifting her leg up and licking her own vagina like a cat. Like the way a cat does. Oh, that's great. And and I'm like, I'm trying to talk them through this experience, trying to make it sexy, but I'm a sixth grader, so I have no idea, obviously, what I'm talking about. And I was like, yeah, she's so hot, she's like a skank. That was the word we use. It's sixth grade. That is the hottest word that we know. It's like skank. Yeah, she's so skanky and hot. And so we're doing it. We're masturbating, and Jordan's like, oh yes, I like a skank. Yes, I like the way she makes me feel. And eventually he comes, and then I come, and Ricky is still going. He's still going strong, but he's not finishing it. At this point, we're like cheering him on. We're like, you got this, buddy. You can do it. I believe in you, man. Yeah, jerk that dick off. And I look behind me, and there is a woman with a baby stroller, just watching Armageddon unfold right before her eyes, just passing her worst fears imagined, passing a middle school and just two like evil children and a third child just like, yeah, masturbate, do it! Jack that dick off! Like, this is the scariest thing for a mother to see. But I didn't want him to get distracted. I was like, oh, whatever, dude, don't worry, just keep going. You got this. She's sucking on your pecker. She's sucking on it. She's sucking on that pecker so good. And eventually, he comes. But he comes actual semen, which, I don't know, like, the guys in here know that, like, those first few orgasms you have as a young kid, those are dry. Nothing comes out. And for me, this was my first experience seeing actual semen come out of a penis like a cobra that's spitting venom. And that's the most potent semen in the world, too. That shit, like, you just look at it, you get pregnant. It's like, that's just how it is. So all of a sudden, all that stuff just spurts out his giant black cock. And I was like, oh, Ricky, you should go to the nurse's office, man. You should go, that does not look healthy. And he's like, really? And I was like, yeah, man, I don't know what that is, but it definitely looks infected. And we all just kind of sat there with our dicks out then, just kind of on the football field. That's a beautiful, I've not seen that slide. So we all sit there and kind of contemplate what's happening. It was kind of a beautiful experience because, like, although we never spoke of it ever again, it was like we had this secret, we had this thing that we had done together where we had all bonded based on masturbation, so that, like, any time any, other sixth grader, talked some bullshit about, like, having sex or whatnot, stuff that we all made up when we were kids, we would all look at each other and we would know, like, yeah, we've had a real sexual experience before. We all jerked off in a circle while I described Claire Danes licking her own vagina. So we had a very special experience, and it was beautiful. And that is the story, guys. Thank you so much. I've been Matt Lieb, and give it up for Jordan Cerminara, everyone. Woo!